Hey Miles, YouTube says we're live. How's it going? Oh, and Sirens, wonderful. They didn't wait
Whoa,
a
on your
second.
end? On your
Like,
end? Are they on
I,
your end?
they are on my end. Somebody,
Okay.
somebody in Discord thought that was a euphemism. I was like, what would that be a euphemism for? Although I'm sure the chat's about to tell us.
Yeah, they're going to give us
Yeah,
a long list of euphemisms. We can always
that's
count on
right.
them for that.
Yep.
Brian, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
obviously the first show we've done together in quite some time for
It's been a
various
while.
reasons. It's been a while. And also, it's going to be the last
Uh,
show that we're this close together because we're only 4 hours apart right now.
I feel so close to you,
I know. I feel an hour closer to you.
which is weird because
Um,
we were in the same time
the,
zone like literally 2 weeks ago.
That's true. That's true. We're actually further away, but closer than we will be next week when the clocks spring forward here in the UK.
Bro,
And I
you're
don't know
making
about the
my
rest of
brain
Europe.
hurt. Can we just?
I know it hurts my. Why don't we just all change clocks at the same time, or just not
Mhm.
change them at all?
Yeah.
But there we go.
I'm okay starting my day at noon if that helps anybody else. Like
Mm.
most people, are like, I need to be up at 6 a.m. It's like, well, listen, it's
Oh my
like
god.
I'm fine waking up at noon if that means like we can all just have the exact same clocks all around the world all the time. I'll wake up at 7 p.m. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever works for everyone else, I will go along with. I'm just sick of these
Well,
time changes. I'm sick of time zones. I think time zones are
yep.
silly. Yep.
I'm jet lagged AF today. I'm afraid, Brian. So yeah,
Oh
just wanted
well
to say
then.
that.
Well
So.
then let's start the show so we can get it over with. Let's go, man. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 hours Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. We also care so very much about your oral pleasure, though. That's why our good friend Wrapup puts us up on podcast services of your choice. And if you don't like sitting around listening to stupid conversations about time zones and about how close Miles and I feel to each other, then you can always just wait until after the fact. And eventually, while we eat our roadie, we'll put timestamps into the show. My name is Brian Paul, and this channel right here without Parole. And this gentleman over here to my left, you're right, it's Miles Dyer from youtube.com/Miles.
Hey Brian, hey Game Cats. It is good to be back. I've missed this, dude. I've missed doing this show. I got back this week from a long trip in the States. It was a good time. It was hectic, but I've really missed playing VR. And fortunately, my first VR experience since coming back was Hitman. Brian, have you heard of Hitman before?
Yeah.
No, it was just a coincidence with the thumbnail and title. Fair. Fair. Yeah, no, but I played that. It was all right. And it was my first ever Hitman experience. I've never played a Hitman game before. So that was
Whoa.
kind of cool. I
Well,
know.
this will be an interesting perspective. I'm very curious to see what your first impressions were like.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got Wanderer just round the corner. I mean, it feels like a good time for PSVR2. And if you don't mind me, Brian, I did give you the heads up before the show. There is something
I
I do
don't
want to
mind
shout out.
Yep.
You don't mind me. That's good.
I
I don't mind
tolerate
you
you.
either.
Yep.
I tolerate you. I tolerate you too. And yeah, that's good. It's nice. We should do greeting cards. That'd be the best one on your birthday. I tolerate you.
It's good. It's good.
Our good old friend Wes Dillon. He not too long ago did a PlayStation blog. I think it was his second one, and it was regarding the VR game showcase about Flat to VR Studios. And we obviously always talk about ways that we can show PlayStation that PSVR2 matters and they should pay attention to it. And we talk about a lot of things like, vote with your wallet, vote with wish listing. His blog about the announced, obviously, Flat to VR Studios games coming to PlayStation VR2 is currently at around 528 likes. It is on track to becoming the most engaged with PlayStation blog this year. And if you want to know kind of what it would take to get the number one slot, I think it's already done it on comments alone. 70 of you have commented on it. And I love this. This is very poetic. The number one most liked blog this year on the PlayStation blog is about Astrobot. You know our good old friend Astrobot, who never made it across to PSVR2, which has like 834 likes. So I was just going to say to anyone watching the show or hearing it on replay, if you have a PlayStation account, which you all do, just head on over to Wes's blog. You just scroll to the bottom, hit the like button, and if we can get 300 people to do it, I know that Sony will be doing their reviews at the end of every month, and they'll be like, "Oh, what's trending?" And it'll be like, "Oh, a PlayStation VR2 blog." And actually, and to be honest, any blog that you see on there about any PlayStation VR2 news, you should be hitting the like button. This is just another way to make noise about it, and it would fill me with a lot of joy to see Wes there at the top slot. So yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to Wes. And
what if I want to fill you with a lot of something else?
Well, do we talk about that now?
I don't think this is on the run of show.
All right, Brian. Let's as I said, you should do greeting cards.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they'd be, more interesting than the bullshit that Hallmark does.
Dude, I think it'd be wicked. Like, I tolerate you. I'd like to feel
I
you.
want to fill you
with
with cum. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yep.
I mean, is that not where we were going with this? Did you want to fill me with chocolate? Like, where were we going with this?
I can't even remember what I said. I'm being taken off by the way. So yeah. So fill the blog up with hearts. For West.
Right before the show, Miles was like, we could not do a show today. And I'm starting to think that was the better idea of the two. So anyway.
It can only get better from here, Brian. That's the reality.
I honestly think it might get worse.
Well, it can't get worse. And that's not a challenge. That is not a challenge.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let's see how this goes. Miles, listen, we're obviously very proud of Wes and Impact. And I mean, just I keep wanting to start my next sentence with the word impact. But I was going to say in the impact that that you guys and he and everybody, Flat to VR, everybody, the impact everybody's having on VR, right? It's such a small market. VR is still very, it's I'll play a VR game and I'll recognize half of the people on the leaderboards, right? It's a small community, right? So you guys got to know that when you're out there and you're tweeting about a game that you want to come to PSVR2 or you're retweeting a developer who's asking about PSVR2 or you're just liking PlayStation blog posts, all of that stuff matters. You're unlike everywhere else in life, your vote actually does fucking count, and you can actually make a difference. We are still a very small movement, but we're a movement. And we're still making changes, and fast forward 5 years, and we're all just going to be nameless people in a crowd, right? But right now, at least we can say we were here, and it mattered, and we did something, and we helped VR get to the place that it needs to be. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who does that on a regular basis. I see you guys all out there tagging me on Twitter. I'm always happy to retweet to help signal boost anything anything you guys have to say about games or sales or whatever. That's pretty much all my Twitter account has become. So feel free to tag me, and I will do my best to help you guys out.
Dude, it's so true, man. Whenever we see developers go, should we bring it to PSVR2? And I see you resharing it, and people the reality is that people's voices matter, and it's why I sort of said at the start that it's not just about voting with your wallet, which is usually the only way it is. Wish listing and doing all this sort of stuff is great, and especially what we do at Impact and Flat to VR Studios is a solidarity movement. I mean, obviously it's a company and it's a business, but we're all gamers at heart. We love it and we want it to do well. And so for us, it's not about trying to outdo other people. It's the rising tide lifts all boats, and I know that's how things feel here at Without Parole. And when we talk about different headsets. There's a lot of things that tie into this. We always talk about that, exclusives, they have a place, but ultimately we do want VR games on as many platforms as possible with crossplay if it's multiplayer and stuff, because we just want more and more people to get on board with it. And as we say again and again, it's not a question of if, but when. VR is going to succeed, and to be at this moment in time, It makes me reminisce a lot to the early days of YouTube when it was all just like vloggers, content creators, and then no one else took it seriously. They just said, "Oh, YouTube's just dogs on skateboard videos and stuff like that." And then eventually people were like, "Oh no, we get it now. Like YouTube is a platform for community building," and that's kind of exactly how I feel with VR as well. Is like once people experience it, they know how awesome it is, and VR is going to be the future of gaming.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to, right now you wouldn't know that from the way people talk about VR.
No,
and I'm sure there'll be revisionist history all over again in 5 years. People go, no, we were always in favor of VR. We always liked VR. Oh, we never put PSVR2 down.
We never doubted it.
Yeah, exactly. But in order to get to that point, we need to get past this point, the point where PSVR2 feels like it's just getting kicked around, and people are talking about it like it doesn't matter, like it's not like the best VR headset out there, or one of the most powerful platforms, especially due to DFR, allowing it to basically outshine so many of the PC ports of the same game. So just try to stay positive and keep spreading the message and ignore the haters, because the haters are miserable, man. Don't engage in that. They're miserable. And one of the ways you can stay positive is by hanging out with us. Somebody just got shot. By hanging out with us every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern on Discord, and getting together for a multiplayer game. Just because, just as Professor Lilith with her $5 tip says, hello, Game Cats. Hello, Professor Lilith. She says the Sunday multiplayer game will be Starship Troopers Bug Hunt with us, 2 p.m. Eastern. Myles, I've only played this multiplayer with you, so it's just been the two of us. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get canceled for that. But
wait, was that not the soundboard of the song? That was you? Wow. Yeah.
I'm going to fill you with cum.
I thought we were going to get a copyright claim.
Yeah. 2 p.m. Eastern. It's 3 players, right? That's what I was going to ask.
Just the 3 of us. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, listen, it was fun with just you and I, but 3 people would be even better.
Yep.
By the way, I think Starship Troopers, if I remember correctly, is only $10 right now on the PlayStation Store. It might even be $8 if you have Plus. So like, it's super duper cheap. Honestly, even if you only play it this Sunday for a few hours,
it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to be had.
You're going to get your $8 worth, that's for sure.
I went back into it, and one of the later levels was broken. The key card wasn't working, so we stopped playing. But I will go back once that's fixed. I mean, it's probably fixed now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fun. And I wouldn't play it single player, but with friends, with Game Cats, I'd be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's the kind of game that I could grind a bit in single player. Like
that's true.
There's a lot to unlock. It's got a lot of roguelite stuff going on, and so I just feel like grinding it out in single player, even if it's not as much fun, I feel like there's a lot to do. Yeah, I connected that with that one more than I did with Underdogs. I'm still trying with Underdogs, you guys. I promise. I'm not gonna give up on it.
I haven't jumped into that yet. I definitely need to.
Perfect. Then we won't even bother talking about it anymore today. We got Fifth with the Australian $2 tip saying, whoa, 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 whoa. You guys are fucking crazy with the tips right now.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Wow.
That's exact. This thing's going to crash. Oh my God. Is there fireworks? What is happening
Is it
right
fireworks or is it a minigun? Or
I think if it's not fireworks, then like ICE is taking out my entire city. Fifth with the Australian $2 says, congratulations on your promotion, Myles. You deserve it.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm now director of social media at Impact Reality and Flat VR Studios, which is wild. But it's great. Just means I get to help shape the strategy in that with everything we do. And as I've always said, you stand on the shoulder of giants. I'm only here because of the amazing friends, family, and supporters I have, and that includes Brian and all of you Game Cats. Like, yeah, as much as he will want to bat it away, like, if it wasn't for Without Parole, I would not be doing what I'm doing now, and I've never felt so happy in what I'm doing work-wise, like being able to use what I've done for 20 years in a space where I get to have an impact with developers, and I'm just incredibly grateful. So thank you to everyone.
Also, I've already congratulated Myles off there. That's why I'm not like being like, dude.
He sent me a greeting card.
I did.
That he wrote.
Yeah, it says
And
congratulations on your promotion. Congratulations on your promotion and just how far you've come. I'll let you fill in the rhyme.
No, I just thought that was the euphemism. I always spat my drink out then. Right.
Oh man. This is I need to go back to bed. Jamie out with the level 2 membership says, with Sony adding PC support, okay, we're not going to get to anything on the run of the show. Just want to let you guys know.
We'll at least talk about Hitman.
Okay, we'll do that. All right. With Sony adding PC support and hand tracking to PSVR2, are there any other feasible features / add-ons you want to see in the future? No.
Yeah, I do want to see mixed reality support.
So you want like color cameras in the next revision? Is that all?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we spoke about this before, and I can't remember what you said. Like, is the black and white that's a hardware thing, right? Or is it a software thing?
Like, why wouldn't we be seeing it in color if the cameras were capable of showing it in color?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, but I think there are some interesting things you could do in mixed reality, even if it is black and white. Like I'm thinking of like Infinity Inside, where it's got quite a chromo, like black and white aesthetic to it. So yeah, that would be my shout.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian?
I've seen some things. Like, I mean, I've said very frequently how much I think mixed reality is a gimmick, and how nothing I've seen in mixed reality makes me ever want to spend a significant amount of time doing that stuff. I think it's a cool gateway to get people into VR and be like, look at this, isn't that a cool effect? And then be like, okay, now we can play a real VR game. So like mixed reality XR isn't really my thing. I cannot believe how these fucking hold on. Let's see if we can see the fireworks. Because honestly, like this is just so
nothing worse than hearing fireworks without being able to see them. Like seeing them's the nice bit.
Yeah, listening to them is generally. Yeah,
we're gonna need the Space Odyssey music. Dun, dun,
it's so bright out. Why would anybody be lighting fireworks off? It's the middle of the day. We can't see this. Okay, listen. I think that's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's light outside.
Put it partially back down. It's really bright.
Yeah, it's pretty bright out there.
I'm just gonna put it all the way back down. That's pointless. I thought it was gonna be like somewhat dark and be able to see the fireworks, but I guess not. Yeah.
Nice tech though. Those are some nice blinds. I like them.
Thanks. Yeah, they've changed my life. They're blackout blinds, and so like it could be noon, and if I'm sleeping, like it is pitch black in here. It's amazing. Yeah, Indy Soul says gunshots on Bryans end. It is.
Yeah, they said, "Are you sure it's not gunfire?"
Yeah, I am not sure. If you knew where I lived, if you knew what part of the city I lived in, you'd be like, it's probably gunfire. Yeah, listen, I just want some functionality back. Like it's not even hardware stuff I would want. It would just be like I want to be able to watch 3D Blu-rays.
Oh my god, yep.
Right, I want some kind of big screen support, like to be able to hang out and watch that. That's the kind of stuff that, even though I wouldn't use very often, it would be nice to have for when I do want to use it.
Yeah.
So that's it, Jay. But let's talk a little bit about hand tracking right now. Masters of Light just got hand tracking support, I believe, today.
Yeah, PlayStation at least shouted about it today. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't suppose you had a chance to check it out, Myles.
I have not. Have you, did you, Brian?
I did. And so this is, oops. Everything's broken. Shocker. Yeah, let's get rid of this Android Central. There we go. Yeah. So I hadn't played Masters of Light before. I was actually waiting for the hand tracking update. And I didn't play it for very long. I did think it was cooler somehow than the Sirens on my end, than the Wizards. Waltz of the Wizard.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Only, I mean, trust me, I think being able to cast magic and everything with your hands is way cooler than just like boom, 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 firing shots out of your hand. But this just seems to make more sense. There's no locomotion, and so like you're not doing weird things with your hand and doing this or whatever. It's just, dude, I'm just gonna use a fucking analog stick, right? And so like I think Waltz of the Wizard, as cool as the integration was, I will never ever ever use it. With this, it makes more sense, and it was cool to see my hands doing the one-to-one responses. It seems like it was programmed really well. Team over at VR Monkey, the port studio, had to go in and do this by hand because apparently there's no way to just flip this on in Unity yet. So there's a developer over at VR Monkey who had to, make their own plugin in order to make this work. So shout out VR Monkey, you guys doing a great job over there.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Eric Gregory, who's the developer who made it work.
Nice. Yeah,
it's
dude.
cool.
I mean, look, Masters of Light was a hand tracking game.
Yeah.
Like it was built that way, and it was just that they had to engineer it for PSVR2, and then they've had to like go back again. It's just like so typical. It's such a Sony thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. but here's the problem. I like this game better with sense control support.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's not really fun with hand tracking. Again, it's fun to get in there and do go with my fingers, and then give West the middle finger when I saw his name on the high scores, right? And it was like that's all fun. But then once you but then you know how it is with a wave shooter, man. It's all about fast paced shooting, boom 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 boom. You gotta like just keep delivering the shots. And the second one of those motions doesn't work,
doesn't track
one time, it's over. It's like, okay, well, I'm no longer interested in the novelty of this because nothing will ever replace a button press for accuracy, for what else? Speed. I mean,
sure. It's the only exception I would say, and I've never used any of these before, is like haptic gloves. Like if if you were going to invest in haptic gloves, but that's like a niche within a niche within a niche. That's not going to be a mainstream adoption thing because the haptics are such an amazing part of it. You want to feel that you're pulling the triggers and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely up for trying it, but I can imagine that I would prefer using the sense controllers as well.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just, again, I'm never going to play this way again. But cool. Good that they were able to bring their original vision to PSVR2. I don't know if you've been noticing. The chat's very green right now. Everybody's
I know.
Just gifting memberships.
This is amazing. So much gifting.
I'm going to skip over some of the tips and membership chat. Just to give everybody a shout out. I want to give Ben Schroeder a shout out. He gifted 5 without parole memberships. My good friend Awesome Tatum gifted 5 without parole memberships. Ben L, the GameCat Army, gifted 5 without parole memberships. GameCat specifically White Tiger gifted 5 without parole memberships. Mad Vegan gifted 5 without parole memberships. What was that? 25 gifted memberships in the last 5 minutes. Really cool. Most of the chat is now green. So thank you guys for your generosity. Thank you for supporting the channel. It's very, very cool. And don't forget, if you remember, you get 1 free super chat a month. So let's tackle some of those. GameCat, specifically White Tiger with the level 1 membership, says with Hitman and Wanderer, PSVR2 gen is already GOAT.
Already GOAT.
I mean, listen. I mean, I'll say this if nothing else. March is VRAF, right? We got Hitman, Wanderer. Although I guess Wanderer's now slipped into April.
Wanderer's technically not March anymore. Yeah.
Fucking amazing games. Not perfect, but amazing games, and should be the envy of anyone without a PSVR2 headset.
We're not getting to Hitman yet, but I was just going to ask the question of, is it a boxed in game?
Do you want to get to Hitman?
We can go, yeah. We'll talk about Hitman.
Okay. So Hitman came out on PSVR2
this week.
Listen, I am more than happy to talk about my first impressions, but Miles, as somebody who's never even played a Hitman game before, I'm very curious who in the comments or who in the chat here, who watching is with you, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even play it on PSVR1. I've never played a Hitman game. This is my first time." So Miles, tell me what your thoughts were getting into this. How much did you even have a chance to play?
So I played, I think 2.5 hours last night on my live stream, and I was a bit nervous going into it because I hadn't played a Hitman game before, and I thought, should I at least do some research beforehand so I'm not sort of wandering around? But I got straight in there. I like the opening scene, the title sequence. I think is awesome.
With 47
Agent 47's
standing in the water, and you kind of look up at him with the title screen. Out in the background. Yeah, it feels pretty epic.
It does. Really, really cool. And then I have to say, I think the VR tutorial I thought was really good. And as a streamer as well, I was really worried when going into that tutorial because it's very dark. And straight away, I'm like, how much of this is on the social screen? And it turns out, like, without changing any of the settings, it looked great on the social screen. And I was just smiling throughout with a lot of the mechanics, like the throwing mechanics. You aim with one hand and then you throw with the other, and it goes with the precision throwing. I thought that was great. I thought the weapons felt awesome. I
need to jump in. I need to do the tutorial because I didn't. And so there were certain things that I was like, how do I interact with this? Like, I just haven't learned everything yet.
To be fair, I did the tutorial and I was still having moments of, and how do I do this again? Or how do I do this? And there were people in the chat saying to me, oh, you have to pay attention to the instructions in this like prologue level or else you'll miss stuff. So I restarted it and it turned out I hadn't actually missed anything in that particular moment. It's just that I hadn't triggered a particular thing yet. So I feel like I'm then going to start going into my overall thoughts of the game. I mean,
yeah, please.
As someone who's not played Hitman before, there is so much content. Like, as someone who's not played Hitman before, where do you think my instinct was to start? On Hitman 1 at the beginning or Hitman 3? For me, I started with Hitman 3 because that was what I remember being the first VR port. And then it was like you could also get those previous ones. And so I thought, okay, that kind of makes sense. And throughout the live stream, I eventually then just started diving in and out of the different levels. But my overall impression is that this is a janky but brilliant port and a lot of fun. There is a lot of jank here. Some of it did my absolute head in. There's a really funny moment on my live stream that I have to get a timestamp on where I had to get some papers as a security guard. It was in Dubai, and I had to hand it to the guy who was hiring me. And I had to restart the game like 3 times because I kept trying to put it in his hand and he wasn't picking it up. And I was like, why not? Why not? And it was a funny moment in the chat. And then eventually he goes, oh, you're not taking this seriously. And then he walks off and then I just open fire and stuff like that. And by the way, the gunfire and running around and shooting people feels fucking amazing. Like, it's so cool. Really, really good fun. But yeah, like grabbing people and dragging them along just... you often disconnect with them and trying to open sometimes the doors. Again, I'm always happy to say, perhaps I'm just not doing it properly, and I'm not. But the whole point is, when it comes to VR, it needs to feel intuitive. Like, it just has to be natural that I'm doing this to open the door and it's opening. Not, oh, I'm opening the door, oh, I've got to do it again. And this is the time. And then there's a few areas of polish I was experiencing, and I was playing on my PS5 Pro. There's pop-in happening where like people's hair hasn't fully rendered. But can I also say that a lot of these criticisms I have, I will always benchmark against the fact that to experience the game as I do, I'm happy to let those things slide because the crowds of people and like how good this game looks is phenomenal. But there's just moments where going into third person when climbing ladders, all right, I can kind of do that. But when it's like press a button to jump down onto a platform, I wish you could turn that like so it's a VR thing that you could experience it. There's a few moments that are immersion breaking. And again, saying all this, I had the best time and I can't wait to play more of it. But like there is a lot of jank and a lot of optimization that I think still needs to happen.
Yeah, listen, I have two different thoughts about the graphics, right? But yeah, because I do agree with you. Sometimes it's just popping at the weirdest times. Like I was looking for a house number, dude. This neighborhood that I'm walking around in is gigantic, right? It is a
Yeah.
massive map, right? And it is also beautiful, right? Like leaves are falling from the trees, like sun is like shining through the branches, and like just and there's people everywhere. You know, you're walking
You feel
around, and
like you're in a real world, don't you? Like in all the environments, I'm like, I'm in a place, right? Or maybe I don't know.
I'm in a world. Like
Okay.
I don't know if it's a real world. Every group of people I'm walking past, there always seems to be two people together, right? And they're always having a conversation, and it's always like, oh, if I listen in on this conversation, I can pick up an essential clue about what's happening around here.
Right.
And it just causes you to go down these like really stupid, silly rabbit holes in order to accomplish the mission of like killing somebody, right? It's like, how do these two people over here having a picnic have anything to do? Oh, because they're talking about a lawsuit. And it's like, oh, well, if I can figure out how these two people are connected, oh Jesus. But that's the beauty of this, is that there's just it's a living, breathing world, and there's so much stuff that's all interconnected. And the fact that it's all running in VR the way that it is, like looking so good. I mean, yeah, there's reprojection, but it's super high resolution, and it moves well. And then I'm looking for a house number like 326. And I walk up and I'm looking at house numbers as I'm walking by, and I'm like, I don't know where 326 is. And I walk up to a house and I'm like, how come this house doesn't have a house number on it? Like I'm literally 5 feet from where the house number is supposed to be. And I'm just staring at it. I'm like, what? Why doesn't it, is this one supposed to be unmarked? Am I supposed to figure out this is three? And then boom, then it pops in. Just as I'm standing there trying to figure out like what house number this could be. It's like, oh, 326 pops in. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But so listen, yeah. So I think when we complain about pop in minor graphical issues, that's exactly what it is. It's just minor
Yeah.
quibbles. It's like the fact that everything looks so good. It's hard not to point out when things don't look perfect.
But then also I went to the red carpet level. I was told to play that one with the
This
dance
is really
floor.
good. Yeah.
And I was running through the crowd as I'm getting shot at, and it was incredible. And then I'm turning around, and the crowd is just standing there watching the catwalk as gunfire's coming across, and they're just not. And so I had to shoot a few of them, and then they all started running. So I saved many lives by killing a few. But yeah, I like the red dot, the laser sight, the fact that you have to hold it and it narrows down as you stop moving. I mean, it's an interesting mechanic, but I think it works good. I think the weapons feel great. But yeah, it's just there's a few things of like when so much is so good, it means the small things stand out. So another aspect of it is I noticed it actually in the tutorial is you dress as a character who has a watch. And I looked at the watch. I don't know if you did this and you looked on the wrist, and it's a texture, the watch. And when you move your wrist, it literally like the watch stretches and narrows. So it's like it looks really odd. It looks really odd. So again, so that's an example of it being done bad. Done good though, when I was on the Dubai level and I'm standing outside the building on this pillar over the edge of this massive skyscraper, everyone in the chat was like, "Look at your arms, Myles." And I did, and like my arms are like flapping in the wind, and I was like, "This looks amazing. This looks amazing." So, the shadows in this game, for the most part, look excellent. There are some inconsistencies, but again, it looks great. The character models look awesome. The conversations, as absurd many of them are, it's awesome. And I went into the Miami level where you're on the racetrack, and you go into this area of the crowd. So many people, and then there's confetti coming down, and it's all around, and it looks amazing. I'm like, this is absolutely stunning. So yeah, there's a lot to love. But going back to the content piece, as a disclaimer, I did get a key from IO Interactive, which I was really grateful for. But I got it. I got it for just the VR upgrade, and just before my live stream, I was like, "Oh, I've got to buy the base game," so I did that. I know that if it was done through some other platforms, I would have got the full thing. But then I didn't buy the deluxe version because I heard people talking about like not all content is in VR. But it turns out the deluxe version, it's not to do with the levels, is it? It's the certain modes in each level is not playable in VR. So I think it's called like the free is it free mode or something? There's like a couple of modes in, I think, for each level that are not playable in VR. But all the levels in the deluxe you can play in one way or another in VR.
I've got to trust you on this. The
Freelancer, thank you, Looper. Yeah.
I have not tried to play every level. I've not tried to play every mode. Right now I'm still in the mode of going into a level and just fucking around. Right? Yeah. I'm ignoring all the radio transmissions. I'm not really paying close attention to the story. I'm just getting in there and being like, yeah, just want to see how stealthy I can be, see how many different outfits I can switch into, and, see how I can blend in. And then when shit hits the fan, I just kill everybody in sight. Dude, there's no one living left in this neighborhood. Everybody in this neighborhood is dead. Because after a little while of sneaking around and trying to accomplish some missions, somebody shot at me and I said, okay, now you're dead. And now you're dead. And now you're dead. You know what? I'm just killing all of you. So that was fun. But it's the kind of game that you're gonna want to go back to and play over and over and over again. It nails the sandbox aspect that Hitman has always done so well, where it's like you can kill everybody, you can just shoot everybody, but there's a million cooler ways to take everyone out, right? By setting traps and sabotaging different mechanisms around and waiting for them to sort of fall into your trap, and then you're not even a suspect because you weren't even near there. You know what I mean? It's like just watching the whole mousetrap, sort of all the parts work that you've set up is, I think, usually the fun in these games, which isn't a style of game that I go for. I want something a little more structured, a little bit more linear, a little bit more straightforward. However, this being something that I don't, I don't have to do very frequently. It's a nice distraction from the norm. So I am enjoying it despite it not being my thing.
That's awesome. There's a few things that came to mind there, which was the spontaneity of the sandbox is what makes it hilarious.
Yeah.
There was a bit in the game where I was in Dubai and someone's offering me a drink and I went and I grabbed it. But obviously when you grab a drink, you're actually poisoning it. So I grab a drink and, thank you for the drink, for the celebration. And then it's like, you're under investigation. And then they're holding me at gunpoint. They're like, drop it. And I'm like, I just wanted a drink of alcohol. And I drop it on the floor and then they start shooting at me and stuff like that. And it's like funny moments like that. And the way that people can die, it's just there's so many different things that can happen in different combinations. On the red carpet level, I actually went on the catwalk as a security guard and just walked down. Nice. Did a little twirl at the end and went back and everyone's cheering. And it's just like doing that in VR is just ridiculous. And it's amazing that you can do all those things. I was really happy when I got the flamingo mascot costume in Miami and stuff. So there's a lot of good there. But something I saw on your video footage actually is something that I thought was jank, but maybe it's just a mechanic, which is when you go to strangle someone and they turn around, it won't let you grab them. So like I do it and I'm about to grab them, like, why is it not grabbing? And then you just have to punch them. And it's clearly a mechanic, which is if you don't do it, if they spot you, then that's it. But I kind of feel like if they're turning around, you should still be able to strangle them and stuff. So, I
haven't successfully strangled anyone yet. Again, I didn't do the tutorial. I don't really understand how some of this works. That's why this is definitely my first impressions and not a review of any kind whatsoever. But I will say, dude, listen, right now, this game is on sale. Usually, the World of Assassination, which is 3 AAA games, we say a lot. They each sold for full price back when they came out. They all go for a bundle right now. World of Assassination for $70, and then it's $10 to upgrade this to the PSVR2 version. So usually $80. That $70 bundle is currently on sale in the PlayStation Store for $28. And so adding in the PlayStation VR2 patch for $10, it's $38. Right? This is cheaper than any of the big games that have come out lately. It's cheaper than Behemoth was at launch, Metro was at launch, Alien was at launch. This is cheaper than Arcanage was at launch, and Arcanage sold big, just in case anybody didn't know. So I mean, listen, there's going to be a little bit of jank, but it's absolutely easy to overlook when there's just so much content and so much fun to be had here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Personally,
And you learn to deal with the jank.
as always, with every game.
Yeah.
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 I mean, listen, if I could play fucking Phasmophobia, I can play Hitman World of Assassination. This is nothing compared to Phasmo.
Mm.
And I love Phasmo. I put 100 hours into Phasmo. I'll probably put 100 hours into Hitman as well. This is really good. It's really good. I wish the footage had moved along a little bit quicker, so to where I was just starting to like kill everybody. But you get the idea. This map was huge. I don't even remember playing this on PSVR 1. That's how bad my memory can be. So I am, so I'm kind of looking forward to checking out all the other maps and jogging my memory. Maybe I'll remember a few of them. But man, this one was great because I really love contemporary settings. I love familiar settings, and having a neighborhood like this actually set in the United States, just like, yep, this is really cool. Mr. Twisted Black Game Cat in the chat says, but Brian, is Hitman the new standard in hybrid gaming? That's the question. That's the question we posed with the title of this video, with the thumbnail. And I don't know. I don't know if it is. Maybe I need to play it more. It certainly meets the standard that we should be expecting of hybrid games in VR. I think that's my answer. I would say that maybe so far nothing has beat Resident Evil Village for the highest standard I've seen of a hybrid game. What do you think, Myles?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to answer this in two ways. I don't think it meets the standard that we should expect from hybrid games in terms of like the polish and execution. I think it's pretty close. If it got rid of a lot of the jank issues, I think it's absolutely there. But it does meet the ambition that we should expect from hybrid games. The fact that IO Interactive have taken a really big IP and have said we're going to give this another go and bring it all to VR with all this content, I think is amazing, and they should be applauded for that. And I think they've done an amazing job with it. So for me, it's kind of like this should be the standard in like other big IP should be moving into the space. But I think that the jank and that was more than I was expecting going into this. But again, despite all that, I'm having the most amazing time, and I can't wait to play more of it.
Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the Australian $2 tip says, give me Myles jokes over Brian singing anytime. I would agree with that.
I don't tell jokes, sorry.
One of those, I'll agree with that as well. Game Cat, specifically White Tiger with the Canadian $10 tip, says, with Ramadan fasting approaching end, I am feeling a bit more generous. I wish continued growth and success to all of you, and I pray for happiness, peace, and justice for all people. PSVR2 GOAT.
Much love. That's a lovely
so
sentiment.
much. Absolutely. I'm reading tips while the gameplay footage is showing, so you can watch me kill more people. Wait, Myles gifted 5 without Parole memberships. Thank you for your generosity.
I did. I was inspired by all the green in the chat, and I thought let's add to it. Yeah,
it's very nice.
But there's too many people in the chat that there's still a lot of grey people in the chat, so we're gonna need people to keep gifting.
Eat some carrots. If you're looking a little grey, eat some carrots. Get some color in your skin. It might not be the right color, but it'll be color.
But it will be color. Yeah.
Joe Lou with the $5 tip says, in what way could IO Interactive make buying Hitman even more confusing? Dude.
Oh my God, that is true though. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad AJ was out there being like, hey, make sure you buy this one. It's yeah. I mean, fortunately you just have to buy the collection and then buy the patch, but I mean, there's just so much crap on the PlayStation Store to sift through. The store needs to eliminate that. The PlayStation Store needs to have just full, complete games on the PlayStation Store. And then when you click on the game, then there's got to be subcategories within the listing where it's like, hey, here's DLC for this game that you clicked on. Here's other stuff for this game that you just clicked on, and have it be organized. It's just too much, man. It's way too much. Ace Gamercat with the level 1 membership says, don't forget, channel members get 1 free chat a month. Everyone's using theirs right now.
Do
Thanks,
it.
Ace Gamercat. Midnight Gaming with the $20 says, do y'all think Half-Life Alex will come to PSVR2? Also, thank you for what you do. It helps me out so much. You got it, man.
Is it going to come out before the end of PSVR2 cycle?
Yeah. Listen, the only reason I think yes is because when the PC adapter was first announced and shown off on the PlayStation blog, they literally showed Half-Life Alex on the monitor. They could have had some generic game or even like just a Steam store page, something, right? But no, they chose Half-Life Alex. And that is such a fucking kick in the balls to PSVR2 gamers, right? You would assume if
PlayStation wouldn't have done it if they didn't get a part of that. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like PlayStation don't just promote other IPs that they're not going to get anything from, unless they just thought that's going to make people buy a headset to play Half-Life Alex. But I don't know.
I just felt like that's just the beginning of whatever deal they had in place. They were like, hey, we're going to send people to your way and have them playing games in VR on Steam. Can you help us out? Give us something in return for the added business we're sending your way. Like, come on. You know, and knowing Sony, development on that could have started literally months ago, the same time the PC adapter came out, right? I still have faith that it's coming, but I also don't care that if it's coming or not. Like, it's not the end of the world. I'll play it and I'll be happy that it's here, and I'll be happy for all you guys who are like, you know, insistent that like it needs to be on PSVR 2, because I think all good VR games should be on PSVR 2, but I don't think it's like a necessity, like we once maybe thought it was, or like some people once thought it was, but I do think it's happening. PSVR 2 feels like it's really just getting started. You know, the price is finally affordable to more people. The wealth of games is just getting ridiculous, you know, with Hitman this week and Wanderer next week, and then just, you know, all the other games that are scheduled to launch this year. It's crazy. And then every time you hear about a new VR game, you always hear the developer saying, oh yeah, in PSVR 2 for sure. So I think we're just getting started. Salvador gifted 5 without Parole memberships. Jesus. Like everyone's going to be a member at this point. Might have just flipped through.
Let's have the biggest membership ever. And then Brian can start his new political party.
Ooh. Nice.
And our policy is there's going to be a federal mandate that everyone has to have a PSVR 2 in their household at all times.
Yeah. Government can subsidize some of that.
No, yeah.
You know, now that we're not paying for food stamps or Social Security, I mean, we could definitely afford to give everyone a PSVR 2 headset.
That's it. We don't need that other stuff you mentioned.
Also, sorry, but everyone needs to adopt a cat. That's the other part of this.
Okay.
Like, no cat left behind is the mandate. Wait, what is going on with the tip window? Just being weird. Okay, GC13 and Diet Pepsi Cat. What's up, Tiff? Says, Brian, were you as impressed with the Hitman Dance Club scene in the PSVR 2 version as you were in PSVR 1? No, because I have not yet played that stage, if you can believe it.
Oh my goodness.
I think in my live stream, I notoriously just gunned everybody down like a madman and laughed hysterically while doing so. This town was my practice. That dance club is next. They're all going to get it, Myles.
This looks like a horror movie, this footage. Just add some music, make it a bit more grayscale, and there you go, you got a horror trailer.
For sure. Leo AI with the level 2 membership says, Donkey Boner.
That is hilarious. Hilarious. I don't know, I'm going to have to mule over that and have a think about what it is.
Wow. Flippy Nuggets gifted another 5 without Parole memberships. You guys are crazy today. This is out of control.
Whoa.
Thank you very much, Flippy Nuggets. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Imzade with the level 2 membership says, have you discussed how the tutorial did not pop up for a lot of us? Plus, they really need an auto holster for the gun. I keep losing mine.
Oh yeah, an auto save. It doesn't auto save. You have to turn auto save on manually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh save.
Or auto save.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That's what I said when I realized it wasn't working. I went, uh-oh.
Oh, man. Chilling on the beach says, Brian, did you get a key for Wanderer? Yeah, like last week, man. Like, that's why we talked about it. We already, like, basically reviewed Wanderer on was it Monday's episode? Me and AJ.
This week.
We talked about Wanderer a lot on Monday's show. So, yeah, it's great. It's great. They've still got a few things they need to patch up before it releases. But just like Hitman, even if it comes out the way that it is, Jesus, still an amazing game. Uh-oh. We've not talked about how the tutorial didn't pop up for some of us. Listen, I got into the game and I couldn't even figure out how to start a level. That's how.
Dude, same as I kept clicking all these different menus and where do you start? This is what I was saying about the menus are overwhelming.
Right, watching the debriefing.
Dude. The prologue wasn't even loading for me. I had to restart it like 3 times because it was just black screen.
See, I didn't have any problem with that. Like I was just like listen, it's just been a long time since I played Hitman, and the menu isn't set up the same way a lot of other games are. So, you're flipping through and figuring out where you want to go and what mission you want to do. And then it's like, wait, how do I even start this thing? And then
Dude, you're saying it's been a while since you played Hitman.
It's been a while.
That's for someone who has at least played Hitman. I'd never played one. I was like, what? This does not make sense. And then on top of that, it doesn't even tell you in the tutorial, I don't believe, that you press the option button once to get the settings, and you have to double tap it to get your intel up, like the challenges and that. So, yeah.
I wouldn't have known that, but it told me that during the gameplay.
Maybe it did. Playing. Maybe, yeah.
That's the only reason I know. Grandpa's Barbecue or GameCat with the Australian $5 tip says, I'm surprised that Sony left Hitman on sale with the release of the VR add-on. I think it's backwards, Grandpa's Barbecue or GameCat. I think it went on sale because of the release of the VR version. Sony and IO, these people work together in order to decide when the game is going to be on sale and how long it should be on sale for. This is all a promotional thing, right? This is, again, I would be absolutely shocked if Sony wasn't backing the development of Hitman World of Assassination VR, right? Like I would be shocked. I think this is a game Sony wanted on PSVR2. I would be surprised if they didn't fund some of it. You'd be surprised out there about all the games that Sony had some part in funding, right? Games that you just don't, you never even see Sony's name as part of. Games that came to other platforms. I'm not going to say any because I don't think I'm supposed to say it out loud. But I also don't want to reveal sources and shit. But I'm constantly surprised by when I hear people say, "Oh yeah, Sony funded part of that." Oh, okay, right. And I think if everybody knew the number of games that they've helped fund, the last thing they'd think is that they don't care about VR. So I think this was all Sony's doing. Well, I think they were the ones that wanted this game on PSVR 2. They and IO knew that if it was on sale and from $70 to $28, they get a lot more people buying it. I think that this is their little gift to you. Leo AI with the 20 Sekiros says, noise of the side gun annoying, holster on chest.
Oh yeah, supposedly if you have your hand dangling down your side holding the gun and it's going past the point where you would holster it, it makes a sound every time you go past it. I didn't notice that, but I'm probably going to notice it now. It's been mentioned, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff I probably didn't notice.
Yeah.
Crazy. What a cool week, though. What a cool week. This is finally here. I think everybody's really nervous because there's been a handful of not so great versions of Hitman World of Assassination.
Dude, this is the one. I think it's going to be a hit, man.
Yep. Somebody's going to fill you with cum.
Oh my God.
I hope they start orally, just because I think that'll slow the jokes down a little bit. Okay.
Well, I didn't expect that comeback. Let's go on to the next topic.
This is my favorite episode of Gamescast ever.
Ever.
Let's head over back to the PlayStation blog post. PlayStation blog had a pretty cool article today. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Find out if you guys think it was cool. But our friends over at the Binary Mill, they finally, I'm going to say announced Into Black coming to PSVR2. And I want to be clear about this. We talked about Into Black coming to PSVR2 already, but it wasn't this official announcement. It was just somebody who had asked somebody at Binary Mill saying, hey, is Into Black coming to PSVR2? And they're like, yeah, we'll be announcing something soon. And then like that's sort of, we were like, oh, we took that as the announcement, right? But this is the first time I believe that Binary Mill said anything formally, publicly. And so this is Jason Spencer over there on the PlayStation blog from the Binary Mill. It's their community manager, saying, picture yourself stranded alone on an alien planet with no one around to help, no one coming to the rescue. Your only salvation lies in the endless darkness of a sprawling cave system. Would you dare face the dangers that lurk in the dark? Welcome to the world of Into Black, a VR action exploration game about deep space scavenger trying to repair a ship and escape a mysterious alien planet. You scour caves for resources to upgrade your gear and rebuild your ship, all while fighting off hordes of deadly alien creatures. Sounds like Metroid. And while it kind of sounds like No Man's Sky, actually, but that's
yeah.
I figured I'd talk about a game that I like. And while the game features fully voice-acted story campaign, playable solo or co-op with up to 3 friends, that's cool. 4-player co-op, as well as standalone battle royale mode. Wait. A standalone battle royale mode? Okay. That's interesting. The true heart of Into Black is the sense of exploration as you navigate into darkness and uncover wonders and dangers beyond reckoning. PSVR 2 owners will soon get to experience this sense of exploration firsthand, but rest assured this is no mere port. By utilizing the power of the PSVR 2 hardware, we've been able to reshape the world of Into Black into something truly next level. As the name implies, so much of Into Black is about the interplay of light and dark as they explore the underground expanse. So much so that one of the first items we give the player is a torch. That exploration is now much more vivid and alive with the use of real-time shadows. Sweep your torch over a prowling insectoid grunt and see its spider-like silhouette thrown up against a cave in the wall behind it. Observe inadvertent puppet, whoever this is testing my vocab skills today. Inadvertent puppet shows as your co-op crewmates dash around, each with their own torch, throwing their own shadows. The immersive feel of the shadows stretching out and parallaxing along the ground as you pass by cave openings, swinging your torch side to side as you look for valuable resources, is second to none. And of course, the other side of this equation is the darkness itself. New HDR lighting and volumetric effects, as well as the deeper blacks of the PSVR2 OLEDs, adds a richer sense of foreboding to the depths of the caves and makes exploring them a true journey into the unknown. But what's the point of ultra-realistic lighting if there's nothing to see when lit? That's why the world of Into Black has been given a full visual overhaul. They have an original, I'm guessing Quest 3 screenshot here, and then compared to the PSVR 2 screenshot, there's a lot of differences, but like, you know, really easier to see when you're looking at them close up. I'm going to say that this is going to be way easier to see when you're in the headset, right? The darker blacks, the higher resolution, the DFR, the better frame rates, real-time lighting. They go on for a little bit longer and they talk about adaptive trigger support and headset haptics and all that stuff. But, dude, just fucking randomly. Then they say, hey, and also our other game, our web slinging, sort of superhero, game Resist that was really popular on Quest and Steam. That's coming out first. That's coming out before this. I think they said April 10th. So like 2 weeks away. So they had this whole blog post, Miles, about Into Dark, saying it's coming soon, probably a couple months away, right?
And then one more thing.
Oh yeah, but also Resist is coming in 2 weeks. Whatever, we're not getting a blog post about that apparently. It's like, what?
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I was concerned that the binary mill was just not supporting PSVR2. I felt like they'd put out Gun Club VR and been like, and then maybe they'd use that to see if there were enough sales to start porting their other games. And I was like, man, I don't know. Gun Club is a little outdated. It's a lot of fun, but like, is that really the game you use to sort of judge whether you should be porting your other games, right? And so I don't know if Gun Club sold well or not, or if they just always planned on porting these games. But man, is it great to see that the binary mill has our back, because this is a great studio. They make great games.
And with how good the guns feel in Gun Club, to see that in a more dynamic game, I'm super excited.
Yeah, this is a team obviously listening to everybody too, realizing that our reprojection system sucks, that 90 native is the way to go, that like we really value our adaptive triggers, our headset haptics. Like, please use full use of everything that we have, because then it makes your game seem not as good when you don't use them, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's not about being like, oh, well, the Quest doesn't have it, so we can't have it here. It's about being like, hey, every other game we have has headset haptics. Like, it'd be weird if yours didn't. So, yeah, I'm excited about Into Black. It just kind of seems like a game that I could have a lot of fun with, grind with for hours, and get to play with my friends.
Same.
Yeah. Zombie Army's a thing. Want to talk about Zombie Army?
It's back from the dead. Yeah, dude. I mean, that went quiet, didn't it? After did they announce a delay before, or was it that there was no announcement? It was just that they went quiet. I can't remember. But there was the whole thing about Gamescom. It was showed, and
right,
the reactions from people that checked out were not good. And the question from the reports of the creators that played it, they were saying, "You're not going to be adding this feature in," and they were being told, like, "No, this is the finished version." Like, so they went back to the drawing board, or not from the drawing board, but they went to take on the feedback, which is good. Because this was when it was first announced, I was so hyped for this. Like, this is definitely an IP I wanted to see in VR. And then I was really sad to hear all these underwhelming sort of impressions. Could this end up being a great game? I mean, I hope so. I hope so. I'm really looking forward to it. My feeling from the trailer, though, was it kind of looks cool. But it could also be super repetitive very quickly. Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, it's a zombie shooter.
Yeah,
right. It's Arizona Sunshine 3. Maybe Arizona Sunshine 1.5. I don't know. Like, I don't know how deep these mechanics go, but my feeling is that they're not charging a lot for it, right? They announced it'll be $30.
Okay.
With 10% discount for Plus members, so even cheaper. It's got 2-player co-op.
Is it just 2-player?
Yeah. Oh, is this the wrong trailer? Here's the newest trailer. And I think that, dude, I think this new trailer looks markedly worse.
That's what I mean. The original trailer I thought was stronger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so this is the PlayStation VR2 branded trailer, and it looks identical to the Quest trailer. So it's like, I think they just didn't bother getting 2 sets of footage. Like,
yeah, you're right. It doesn't say on it, does it? It doesn't say filmed in a PSVR2.
I have to check the beginning of the trailer. When it loops, I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, but yeah, it's a little bit crazy that it doesn't look great. This still feels like the wrong trailer? I don't know what's going on.
Wes in the chat says repetitive is fine. It just needs to be polished enough to have fun shooting a bunch of zombies. That is very true.
Yep.
And when I mean repetitive, I just mean the dragon kind of where it doesn't have that polish and that, like, because yeah, I do love zombie shooters. I love After the Fall and all that. Arizona Sunshine I love, but it's got to have good pacing to it. It's got to have good progression mechanics. And to be honest, I've always hoped that would be the case with this. It was just because of those impressions at Gamescom that really, really concerned me. I know something else that they mentioned at Gamescom was that the, they're known for the slow-mo when you use the sniper and you do a shot, it does a slow-mo and you see the skull and getting destroyed and stuff. Like, they've removed that from that wasn't in this. If I remember correctly, it was not in when they played it at Gamescom. So yeah,
and it's back now, right?
Well, we don't know. I haven't. It's not in the trailer, is it? Is it in the trailer? I haven't seen it in the trailer.
Hold on. Let me go over to the PlayStation Store because.
Yeah, I'm willing to be like called out and wrong on that.
No, because I the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because I remember seeing it as a bullet point.
Okay.
What I think here. Let me. Just
and someone tells me it does show it in the trailer. Okay.
Good. Yeah, Zombie Army VR. Yeah, listen, it's coming out May 22nd, so it's only a couple months away. Actually,
look, there it is. Yeah. There it is. It is in the trailer. I just saw it now.
Yeah, $27. Co-op campaign. Listen, if it looks decent, if it's fun to play, good. I'll only complain if there's no bosses. Okay, because you got to give me something that Arizona Sunshine is not giving me, and Arizona Sunshine apparently is just never going to give me boss fights. So give me boss fights, Zombie Army, and I will be happy. That's all I need. I'm sure I'll find a million things to complain about once it's here. I say, that's all I need, but I'll change my mind on that real soon. All right, we got to check in with the cats again. We're getting behind on all these memberships and tips and stuff. Ace Gamer Cat with the 1337. What's up, dude? Says, do you recommend purchasing the Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe Pack for VR content currently on sale for $20.99 versus $29.99? Can't find a solid answer on this. Bro, I don't know. I don't have a solid answer on this because I don't even know what's in the Deluxe Pack. Is a Deluxe Pack in addition to what's...
So, or are we talking about Zombie Army VR still, or are we gone back to Hitman?
Ace Gamer Cat's tip about which Hitman version to buy. The answer is I don't fucking know, man. I'm sorry. Like, it's there's a version for $30, right? It's on, or version on. There's a $70 version that's currently on sale for like $27.
Yeah, I bought the regular one, but then if I bought the deluxe, I would have had additional maps.
Okay, now I'm confused. Hold on. I gotta go back to the PlayStation Store. I fucking hate IO Interactive so much for this nonsense. Like, just fucking once it's out, once the DLC is out, once additional maps are out, you sell that shit as whatever, and then you get to this point and you fucking scrap it as DLC and you combine it into the game, the Ultimate Edition. Like, no more options. I'm tired of this nonsense. This was a problem on PSVR 1. This is a problem now on PSVR 2. Here, I'm just going to search for Hitman and watch all the nonsense pop up. Oh, Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe Pack. But does this include... This doesn't include the game, though, right? This is an update.
Oh, my God.
For...
Someone's now telling me Deluxe isn't VR. Oh, my God. I'm so confused. All I know was I bought like the regular version, and I didn't. And then there were maps that I was locked out of that I needed to get as a DLC. So
yeah. So then there's Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe Edition for $100. That includes just apparently everything, but it's not on sale. So it's like, fuck it, man. Honestly, listen. There's so much content in the $70 version that's on sale for $28. There's so much content in that. It's going to take you 100 hours to get through that stuff. I would say just start with that. And then like once, as you're playing through that, be like, then figure out like, do I need more levels? Right? Because the deluxe upgrade is only on sale for 30% off right now. It's $21 instead of $29.99. So like, you don't need that right now. That's what I'll say about that.
I just want to say, as a director of social media, I definitely would have done a social post with a breakdown of like a flow chart. Do you want this? Then buy this version. Do you not want this? You should get this one. Like,
wow.
I like a little explainer because, yeah, I'm looking at the Hitman channel as well.
I don't like it. It's too much. Ace Gamer Cat says the cat's answered his question. Deluxe Pack is worth getting for VR content. Okay, see,
I'm so confused.
I'm really glad that they got you your answer because that would not have been the answer I gave. That wasn't the answer I gave, so I'm happy.
Oh, there
I'm
is a
happy they do
flow chart. Where's the flow chart?
No.
I want to see it.
Prozac gifted 5 without parole memberships. Thank you very much, sir. Very generous. The generosity is out of control today. You guys are amazing. I don't deserve you. Prozac with the level 2 membership. I can scroll back up. With the level 2 membership says downloaded Hitman yesterday and Behemoth physical copy arrived in the mail. What the fuck am I doing here? P.S. When are y'all doing PAX fundraising stream? When are we doing that?
Before PAX East, probably.
Listen, we're going to hit it hard in April. So get ready. We're going to be doing that very, very soon, for sure.
I've written a VR quiz for the stream. So that's something we can do.
All right. You've done your part. We can move on.
There we go. I'm not even going to turn up. I'll just hand it over to you guys.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not going to turn up for anything. Jacob Hughes with the 5 quid says, how do you know someone is doing a marathon? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Can't watch live, always catch up on long runs. Thanks for entertaining me on my long runs. Jacob, that's really funny. At the restaurant I used to work at, there was one of the bartenders I worked at decided she was going to start running. And then next thing we knew, she was right. She's like, I'm going to run the Boston Marathon. And legit, it's the only thing she talked about for like 300 days straight. So I get the joke, Jacob. I get the joke. And as somebody who like only started going back to the gym 2 months ago, I find it hard not to talk about the gym in every single conversation that I have. Right. So like, I get it when you're doing something that's like, for self-improvement and like, it's, really on your mind, it's hard not to talk about it. So, we made fun of the girl running the marathon a little bit, but it's understandable. Why wouldn't you want to talk about it?
Good work on the running, Jacob.
Yeah, for real. Jacob Hughes with the 2 quid says, shout out, mid-run is going to hit so hard. Thanks. Shout out, mid-run is going to hit so hard. See, he's listening to this when he's doing the marathon, and so we're giving him the energy, Miles, to get to the finish line. God, I wish somebody with more caffeine in their system was in that position right now. Okay. Oh, dude, are we all caught up on tips? Holy shit. I think we're
so,
caught up.
For now, until the next batch of gifts come in. I mean, the amount of memberships that have been gifted today is phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't think I missed any. But shout out to everybody who supported the channel today. You're all fucking amazing. That reminds me, I must update the Patreon scroll in just a couple more days. Miles, we both have a lot of stuff to do in a busy night.
We do? Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I do. So
got to play Hitman.
Yeah, I got to play Danganronpa V3, but that's for this.
Before I went to the States, I dug out my PSVR and played some PSVR games. And one of the games I bought and played, which I always wanted to, was Bonfire. You remember that?
Yeah, I love Bonfire.
Dude, like, I always knew it was a really short game, but I have to say that I was just like, I want more games like that. Like, just short, like, you feel like you're in an animated movie, a little, like, Pixar short or something like that. I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really good.
It's so funny how quickly we forget. Like, when Bonfire came out, we all agreed that this is so good. This is like one of the greatest experiences ever. But it's still an experience, man. We need more full-fledged games. And now we're like, we need more experiences.
I love stuff like
experiences. Yeah.
Someone said easy platinum. That's what I thought. Except the one trophy I need left is you got to toast the marshmallow. Oh no, I did that one. It's right at the end. You got to toast the marshmallow like evenly, and I haven't done it, so I've got to play it a third time now. But yeah, it's got a good jump scare in it actually. That surprised me.
Expert Evan in the chat says, Brian, have you played the Obsessive Shadow, or are you waiting for the PSVR2 version? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the developer of the Obsessive Shadow in the chat asking me if I've played it.
Hello.
I've only played the demo, an early demo on the Quest that you sent me, sir, and I did not. I have not played it. I've not played the updated version. I am looking forward to it, but I think you were the one that told me the PSVR2 version was gonna rock with all of the features of the PSVR2 headset. So I'm gonna wait and play the best version. That's what I'm gonna do. He says the game just released on Quest and Steam. Excellent. I hope it sells well. But I hope it sells best on PSVR too. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. AJ, oh my God, you're not even AJ. MD. Miles Dyer, MD. Let's do a 4-minute challenge, man. Like I am crashing so hard right now. I don't know what's going on. So we gotta wrap this up.
We did it, Brian. We did a show. We did it. We got through all the stuff. It's good.
We did. It's been a while.
Got some memberships.
How
and
is this the first time in what, a month we've done a show? You and me?
Yeah. I think I know. I think you were unwell for one, and then I was in the States, and so I missed 2 of them. So I think we're 2 and 2, 2 for 2, 2 and 2, 4.
Yeah,
I'm not good with math. But I know 2 and 2 is 4, and this is a 4-minute challenge, and I've got to choose a game.
Yep.
So let me quickly choose a game, and okay, I got a game.
Is it Bonfire?
Wait, we started the time.
Oh, I just didn't know if I needed to start the timer because it might be Bonfire.
Well, let's start the time, and if you want to go for that on your first guess, you're more than welcome to.
All right, on your mark, get Des. Everybody in the chat, please help me out. There's no way I'm going to get this on my own. I can't even think of a single VR game right now. The blinds are still going up. It takes so long. On your mark, get Des. Go. Is this on PSVR 1?
No.
It's not Bonfire, you guys.
Jesus Christ, can you imagine if you'd guessed that?
Is it a PSVR 2 exclusive?
No.
Is it part of a series? Are there other games in the series? No. Did this developer make other PSVR 2 games or PSVR 1 games?
No.
Okay.
Don't think so. No.
Is it an experience?
No.
Okay. Is it a puzzle game?
No.
Sci-fi?
No.
Horror?
No.
Is it based on a known IP?
No.
Is it? It's not a puzzle game. Awesome Tatum says, "Did we mention it today?"
No.
Is it on the flat screen?
No.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it educational?
No.
Is there any swimming?
No.
Single player. Is it like a single player adventure?
No, not single player adventure.
So the focus is multiplayer?
Yeah, it's multiplayer.
Co-op?
No.
Okay, so PvP?
Yeah.
I don't trust a lot of these answers. He's like, yeah. Okay, so generally PvP.
And that's intentional.
Can it be played single player?
Yes.
I don't like these answers.
What's all Wes? Miles says
so
it's
funny.
good. That eliminates 9 games. I
good.
can't believe that, Wes. I thought we
are you in a vehicle in this game?
No.
Okay. Full locomotion?
Yes.
Is it sports? Like is it
No.
sports? No, not sports. It's not based on an IP, so it can't be Ghostbusters, Scott. This is so crazy. Is it? Yeah, let's go with Old Darth. Is it a rhythm game?
No.
So multiplayer. Are you shooting guns?
No.
Are you shooting anything?
No.
Are you? You said full locomotion with the analog stick.
Yep.
So not Gorilla Tag. Is it cartoony?
Yeah, it is.
Can't
The
be Among
multiplayer
Us.
thing is what's going to throw you off. I'm going to say it's like I can't. I'm not. I'm going to spoil it if I say what it is.
Not a rhythm game looper. It's not Among Us. Is it a survival game?
No.
Okay, I can't think of any. Is it horror?
No.
Is it all first person?
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Sushi Ben isn't multiplayer. Tatum. My God. Is the multiplayer stuff like leaderboards?
In part.
But you can actually play with people though.
Not with people.
You can't play with people. All right. Is it Vendetta Forever?
No, it's not, Brian.
What is it?
It is what Shades of Grey Matter has just said at the final moment. It is Barbaria, Brian.
Wow.
And that the multiplayer is the throw off because you're not playing co-op, you're not playing with people. You are playing people online, but it's asynchronous. So it's not just leaderboards. You are actually battling people's worlds and stuff. But yeah.
That's a good one. I did see somebody ask in the chat, is it asynchronous? And I was like, I can't even think of any asynchronous games. So
right.
like, I won't ask that question, but apparently I should have.
I said you could play it single player. Someone says you can play that single player though. I said you could play it single player.
Yep.
I was just thinking about it though because it is on like you're on servers and that, but there are single player campaigns. They got a roguelite and stuff. So,
Yeah,
and I actually met Andrew. Yes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I met
shoot stuff in Barbaria, and I knew that, but
you can
give him a hard time about it. Can't you?
Bow and arrow. Is there? I guess bow and arrow is kind of shooting. Is there?
Yeah, because I said, can you shoot with guns? And I said, can you shoot anything? Shoot bow and arrow.
Oh, okay, yeah,
anything.
That's fair enough.
I don't think I was even close to it. I don't think that was going to help me get there.
Yeah. I met Andrew from Stalwart Games. Yeah, at GDC, man. I met Eric from Ancient Dungeon. I met BJ from Urban Wolf Games, Legendary Tales. I met Des from Trebuchet. Alchemy Labs, telling him about how much I learned about friendship in Cosmonius High. I met who else did I meet? I met Sam Ramloo, the managing director of Mighty Eyes. Had a really good conversation with her. And I also met with David Wyatt, who is the comms lead of Mighty Coconuts Walkabout Mini Golf. Had a good interview with him actually. And I was you were talking about it with Wes on Wednesday's show, and I would say it was my first GDC. I think GDC is totally your jam, Brian, because Gamescom was my first Gamescom last year, and I enjoyed it. But it was just so many people. Like, it was so noisy. You'd go into the main halls, and I'm like, I want to go back now. Like, there's so much going out. Way, way worse than PAX East. PAX East is a good middle ground. But the thing about GDC is, because it's a closed event, you're walking around bumping into devs. You'll just literally be walking around, and you'll just recognize people, devs of different games and stuff, and they have really cool conversations. And it was really, really good. So really enjoyed GDC, and it was nice just to thank people in person.
Wes got me a little bit jealous when he said he was hanging out with Eric Thelen, Ancient Dungeon, and he'd mentioned a few other names. I didn't know Sam Ramloo was there from Mighty Eyes. Every correspondence I've ever had with her has been amazing. Like, she's just so caring and like genuinely interested in in what we're doing in the Game Cat community, and how how Wander will be received with everybody. Like, they really do care. So meeting her is something that's on my list of things I need to do as soon as possible.
She's absolutely incredible. I was chasing her all week, going like, because she's in New Zealand. This was literally a halfway point around the world for both of us, and I got to bump her on the end, and it was just before they announced the delay. So like, having conversations about Wonder and how it was going was really, really interesting, and like the love and care, like and it's always the discussion points. And again, without going into specifics, of devs don't want to pull fast ones on communities. Like, when they make these decisions to delay stuff, even if it's just like one more week, like so much thought goes into it of like, is this the right thing to do and things like that. And they put so much love and heart into this. I've not actually jumped into Wanderer yet, just because I've been out of the country, but I've got a key. I'm looking forward to checking it out. But yeah, my interest with speaking with her especially was from a social media perspective, that what their team has done for social media, and I've mentioned this on the show before, is remarkable, because what they've had to do is they've had to do a social media campaign where they have to keep making content for a game that has already been released once and then has been in development like with a delay for like about a year or something. So like when you do a social media campaign, you're like, this is when it's coming out, and so we're going to do this, then this and this. And if you're delaying it by another year, it's like, to keep the content fresh and keep it doing, like, they've done a remarkable job. So that was great. And actually, the guys I was really interested in meeting, because I've never bumped into them at any events, and I was like, oh, GDC's the one I could see him at. And I was at a bar on the last night, and I was speaking to one of my colleagues going, these are the only guys I've not met. And they're like, oh, they're just here behind you. And it was Sin Studios. So it was great seeing those guys. And yeah, they all the devs that I've met, Brian, have sent so much love your way. Wes, AJ, GameCats, like, they just absolutely love what this community does. And so it was really great to hear that firsthand. So yeah, it was a cool trip.
It's great to hear. Just also to everybody in the chat who says I don't consider shooting arrows shooting. When I said, listen, for the sake of 20 questions, we've gone through this before. I would say, do you shoot guns? That's very specific. Do you shoot anything else? When the answer to do you shoot guns is no. Say, do you shoot anything to follow up on that question? I believe that's when you say yes, if you shoot arrows, or yes, even to shooting magic, right? For the sake of 20
that's true, magic as well.
For the sake of 20 questions, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Oh my God, fucking this garbage AI nonsense. Get this shit off of my fucking screen. Oh my God, you know what? Fucking hate you, YouTube, so very much.
What's happening?
Just YouTube being fucking stupid. AI is taking over, and nobody wants it. AI was supposed to come and take the jobs that no one wanted to do, and instead it's doing the jobs of artists and creative people. And you know, it's like, weren't we supposed to be able to have more time to create art? And instead it's taking art away as a potential profitable source of income.
You were reminding me of a quote that I heard not too long ago that was amazing, and I couldn't think of it. I've just found it. So someone tweeted last year, I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do art and writing, not AI to do my art and writing so that I can do my laundry and dishes.
Yeah, it was sold to us in a really scummy way. They lied to us to get it in the front door, and now it's and now what is it doing? It's doing kids' homework for them, right? It's like it's writing essays, it's doing stuff that it shouldn't be doing. It's all of the stuff it's doing is making our kids dumber, in making our population less incentivized to be creative and be talented. We're just becoming a really fucking stupid society. That's all it's doing. So fuck you, AI. That's the message of the day. It's the message. Dude, it like legit helps me every single day of my life, but I'm still angry about it deep down. Still angry.
There's lots of conversations we have at Impact and that, and obviously when we're working with games and that about the use of AI, the fundamentals of it, as you're saying, AI is a great tool, but you don't use it as a crutch and you don't use it as an endpoint. Like, I've used AI for parts of my thumbnails. Obviously, I have AI representations of me, but like the overall thumbnail, I'm creating in Canva and I'm arranging it and stuff like that. Like I'm having an editorial like stance on it, and there'll be people that have a problem with that. Like there are a lot of grey areas in that with AI, but yeah, the Studio Ghibli stuff that's been going out the last 48 hours has been absolutely wild.
I don't even know. I'll have to get caught up with it, but we don't have to discuss it here.
Yeah.
Cool guys, thank you so much. It's been awesome. It's been a great it's been a great week. I am still working on my shit. I posted some of that in the Discord in the Ask Brian channel. Again, I don't want to keep the stuff on the main channel. I don't want to make this the focus of any show. But just want to say thanks. I'm working through my issues, and I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. And it's just going to be some time, I think, before I get back to 100%. I'm very far from that. I can't see myself doing a full-fledged review of anything anytime soon, or even spending significant amount of times in the headset. I think I just need to slowly get back there. In the meantime, I'll still do PSVR this week and try to do 3 episodes of GAMESCAST every week, and I just don't know how long that's going to last for, but hopefully that'll be the bare minimum, and it'll be good. So thank you everybody supports the channel financially. Today was amazing. You guys just came out in droves and supported with all the memberships. But thank you, everybody supports us on patreon.com/RolePlayGames, by being a member over here on YouTube, by tipping during the show. It's all keeps the lights on. It's amazing. Thank you guys for that. But money's never going to be the objective here. Making sure that you guys are here and hanging out, part of the community, that's way more important. Seeing you guys in the live chat and seeing you guys over on Discord that's the greatest part of my day. So make sure you join us on Discord. Click the link in the description below. While you're clicking links, make sure you go subscribe to Myles over on youtube.com/Myles, where he live streams every single PlayStation VR2 game that there ever was and ever will be. Hitman sounds like it was a pretty good episode. I'm gonna have to go back and see the part that I missed.
I feel like that should have been my 250th live stream, not Flight Simulator VR 2025.
I had some good traction on it though.
Oh yeah, it did. We always talk about this, don't we? Covering those games, unfortunately, do really well because people want to see what the hell the fuss is about.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that thing that was maybe AI generated."
Yeah, the whole game, right? Yeah. Thanks everybody. We love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Here it is, your clip of the week, courtesy of Prozac. I think we covered everything on the thumbnail for the first time for a while. These hybrid games, Hitman VR First Impressions, Zombie Army Back from the Dead. I think we did it.
And
just want to let everybody know. Yeah, Arcane Age
still big. Yeah, we.
Yeah. Also, heads up, half of this thumbnail was made by AI.
Oh my god!
Right, I was looking for different Hitman images to use, and none of the gameplay footage I had good actual thumbnail stuff. And you want to see Agent 47 in the thumbnail, right, for GamesCast, and I found this image, but it cut off halfway through the muzzle or the silencer of this pistol. So the right half of the image just didn't exist, and you didn't see the end of the silencer. AI did not know what the fuck he was holding in his hand. You know how many times I had to try to convince it? Like the first thing when I just said auto generate the rest of this image.
Oh my god!
Some kind of church steeple came out of it. I don't even quite understand. I was like, yeah, that there's a connection there. I don't understand it, but there's a connection there somehow. And I was like, no, this is a gun. Please generate the end of the muzzle. And it was like, what? Dude, 3 or 4 attempts, and it's finally oh, he's holding a gun. Got it. Oh my god, dude.
That's hilarious.
It was actually entertaining. Fluke, the Swedish Game Cat, welcome to level 2 membership. Thank you for joining. Level 2, you've upgraded. That's it. Yeah, Tatum says we should have kept the steeple. I think he's right. Oh, right, ending the stream. Yeah.